when I think of ASEA, I think of a transformational technology. You know, what's a transformational technology? What are some examples? Well, if you take a look at Fulton went out and discovered the power of steam, and that created the railroads, which created the steel industry, which created a whole new mode of transportation, which changed the way people cruised around the world, in the United States, whatever. Another example of that would be the combustion engine. Someone invented the combustion engine. And what happened there? Well, the car was invented, and that created the rubber industry and the asphalt industry, and that brought in suburbia and created a whole new way of life. The one transformational technology that happened in my lifetime that I'm aware of, however, was a thing called the transistor. And the transistor was invented by Bell Labs out of New Jersey. It was rather interesting. When they came out with the announcement of this transistor, they thought the government was going to actually come and take it away. They knew how profound this particular discovery was. However, no one came. The interesting part of it was there was a gentleman in a war-torn, shabby office in Japan that when he read this announcement, he instinctively knew what it was. Interesting thing was he was not in the components industry. He thought he had no chance to procure the rights to the transistor. However, he figured it was worth a try, so he hopped on a plane, he flew to New Jersey. The day he landed, he procured the rights to the transistor, and the Sony Corporation was born, and they decimated us. The interesting part of this story is GE was working on the transistor at the same time, their version of it. They decided to scrap it because they had thousands and thousands of customers with vacuum tubes. For those of you who are old enough to remember, you used to turn a TV or a radio on. It took a little while to warm up, didn't it? Another interesting part of that story is 3 people left GE, and they formed a little company known as Intel. And if you had given Chaz, the people in Intel, $1,000 back then, you'd be worth about $90 million today. What's interesting is GE should have been Intel, but they couldn't see it. They didn't get it. And this is not uncommon in the transformational technology. If you take a look at the car industry, for instance, the blacksmiths and the livery stables, they should have been the car dealerships, but by and large they weren't. And as we go forward with ASEA, which is truly a transformational technology, we're going to approach professionals, doctors, chiropractors, naturopaths, personal trainers. And don't be discouraged, because by and large, they probably aren't going to see this. The other interesting thing about transformational technology, oh, by the way, when you think of a transformational technology, when you think of redox signaling and you take a look at what the scientists have been projecting, the possibilities and the outcomes from redox signaling, and these are all projections. And currently there's only one product that actually addresses redox signaling, and those of us that have been around for 2 or 3 years that have seen and witnessed the people that have experienced these theories actually coming to fruition. This is huge. There can be no denial that this truly is a transformation technology. Now, what's interesting in our industry, and in this particular opportunity, is when you look at the direct sales industry, by and large, you look at the most successful companies, the Nu Skins, the Mary Kays, the Pampered Chefs, what have they all done? They've all taken existing technologies and they've gone out and they've created market share. They've captured market share from existing technologies, and we know how successful they can be at that. What has never, ever been done before in this industry has a transformational technology began in direct sales. And the possibilities that lie there are unknown. When we look at companies that have been highly successful and we watch them go through their hyper-growth space where they grow at 20% per month for a 2 and a 3.5 year period, and they hit numbers like $750 million to $1 billion within that time frame. We have people like Jim Pack and Vertus Norton who know nothing but creating billion-dollar industries, and we have a transformational technology with zero competition. We may shatter those records. We could go 3.5, 4 years through hypergrowth. We may go 2, 3, 4 billion because there is no other product. We are creating a whole new market. However, I'm not going to take that chance. I'm out now creating a team because I want to ride that wave and have people have the opportunity to ride that double-digit growth that I believe is coming very soon. As we go forward, and I've taken a look at other companies, and we take a look at a company like Nu Skin Forever, for example, that has created, at its time, created the most millionaires within this industry. Matter of fact, they went from 40 million to 750 million in a 2.5-year period, and in that time they had 750 people in their marketing team that averaged about $649,000 a year. As we look at that, is there any doubt that we at ASEA will be a $1 billion, $2 billion, or $3 billion industry? When I look at that, we're going to probably need 1,000 of those leaders for every billion we hit. So there are two questions. Am I going to be one of them? And how many of those do I want in my group?